Hello everybody, I'm Fabien and welcome back to Fab Motorbikes. Today I want to talk to you about the 4 bikes that I've owned that have led me to owning the Yamaha FaZer FZ6 S2. So straight out of the gate, after doing my CBT, which is a short course you have to do in the UK if you want to get on a 125, I bought myself a Honda PS 125i, I think it was called. It's a scooter. Now, what can I tell you about this scooter? First of all, if the quoted top speed is 65 miles an hour, you shouldn't be doing 75 miles an hour. The brakes are not very good and can't stop you very well at those speeds, and you may crash it into the back of a car like I did and write it off. But that's called being 18 years of age. Yeah. So following that little incident, luckily I had fully comp insurance, so I took that money and I thought to myself, I still want a motorcycle, I still love this, but I should get a proper bike. So from there I got a Suzuki RV125 Van. Now the Suzuki Van I love, and I still love to this day. Those big fat chunky wheels on the back, it handles so well, it's so comfortable, so easy to work on. God, it's a great introduction to proper manual motorcycles. Now with 125 motorcycles, even if you love them so much, it gets to the point where you feel I need a little bit more power. So I then went and did my A2 license in the UK, which allows you to get on bigger bikes with a power restriction up to 33 horsepower. And as much as I love the Suzuki Van, it was time to get a bigger bike. So then I had a Suzuki GS500F, and I actually did love that bike. It is an inherently flawed bike. The list of things wrong with it is insane. It's insanely cold-blooded. It's so difficult to start. The valves need checking every 4,000 miles. That's too much work for anyone to do, so I didn't do it all that often. Just consumed oil from day one. The suspension is terrible and soft. I can only describe the chassis as floppy. You don't really feel that sturdy initially when you're new to it. It's a very heavy bike. But all this said, it's a great introduction into bigger bikes. It's not all that powerful, so you're not going to go crazy on it. But you can still over 100 miles an hour, which is not bad. And it's big enough and spacious enough for you to carry pillions and go a little further on it. I went all the way to the south of France on it with my brother on the back. I went to the Isle of Man, did a tour on the Isle of Man on it. So many different things. But the GS500, I kept that for 9 years, and it was a great introduction to bigger bikes. So during that 9-year period of owning a GS500, I did actually buy myself 2 other bikes. So I did have 3 at one time. The second bike that initially added to that list was a Suzuki SV1000S. Now the SV1000, I do like that bike. It's all right. It is a beast. It's a bit heavy. Why did I get that bike? I think it's because my neighbour next door, he bought a FZ1 1000cc fazer, and I remember going to see it, and he fired it up, and the noise of the thing, just the sheer weight of the noise coming out the back of that, I was like, Jesus, this is amazing. And I had a little bit of spare money at the time, and I thought, what can I afford that could get me that type of power or that type of feeling? So that came to be the Suzuki SV1000. I did love it, but it didn't quite make sense to me owning it that much. I did 2 great tours, one to the south of France and one across the whole of Spain, so it was perfect for that. But everyday use, it just didn't make sense. Just the tank was so small, but it would also just get through that fuel so quickly. Tyres needed replacing very often, which I know is the case with a lot of 1000cc bikes. For my financial position at the time, it didn't make that much sense to have it, but I did enjoy it. Having said that, I didn't sell it, I held on to it. I don't know why. So at this point, I went and bought myself a second Suzuki Van. So this was because basically they're cheap, they're fun toys, and I wanted to go on a tour of Scotland on a 125 motorcycle with 2 of my friends, and we did. It was fantastic. So by this time I had 3 bikes: a Suzuki Van, a Suzuki GS500 and a Suzuki SV1000. So you may see a pattern here. Yeah, 3 Suzukis. I think the reason that is they are very good bikes, very reliable, Japanese, but they're worst of the 4. They're at the bottom, in my opinion. Yamaha's at the top, maybe Honda close behind, then Kawasaki, then Suzuki. So you can get very good bikes for reasonably cheap. They need a lot of maintenance, which is also, I think, is a great introduction to motorcycling. Get a Suzuki, you'll learn that maintenance is key. You feel like you need to do loads in a Suzuki, and then when you move across to a Yamaha, you can relax a little bit. So there I am at one point with 3 motorcycles, 3 Suzukis, and it just got to the point, it was the expenses of maintaining them, the insurance, the tyres, it didn't make sense. I had a good spectrum, ranging from a 125 to a 1000cc bike, but it was just getting too much. So time to pack it in, sell all 3, and get something that could really do it all. So there we have it. They're my 4 bikes that led me to getting the Yamaha FaZer FZ6 S2. I'm sure you've all seen the video on why I love it so much. I'll put that up on the screen soon. But if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you've not done so already. Many thanks for watching. See you soon.